Hmm.
Hmm.
Do they look recent? I'll uh I'll fly out and go to Matthias and um so hold on, I need to ask you. Um I now speak in typing, you guys. That is my character's main language. She is well versed in smashing of keyboards.
Uh, it's a pretty handy language to have.
Indeed. But you've flown away from the site, yeah?
Um, I really don't want to have to retransform, so I'm gonna investigate a little bit more. Um,
Okay.
making sure that I am alone, and if I don't find anything else of interest, I'll search the next home. Or building, or whatever they are. These are probably old fishing lodges or something. Hunting lodges. Or just, uh, like resting spots. I'll, I'll take an empty, or like a piece of cloth. I'll transform back into Morwen.
Mhm.
I'll take a piece of cloth, uh, and inventory. Wait, do I have the skill? No, I don't. Okay, so I'll I have gloves on, so I guess that's fine. I'll take I'll take some of the substance and put it into a cloth and tie it up like a
Okay.
small bag and put it in my pack and then it's raining, so I just stick my hand back out into the rain to wash my glove off. If there's nothing else really of interest, I transform into a bird and
Yeah.
go to Matthias. Uh, Tell him what I found. There was a fire there within the last 2 weeks. Um, some animals had taken shelter, tufts of fur. I hold up some of the fur for him to look at, inspect, see if he knows anything. A lot. It's uh, it's whenever I activate my change shape ability, which is infinite amount of times. it doesn't take a point to turn into an animal.
Hmm. Okay. Hmm.
This this uh this class was more built for fighting, honestly, and all of the things uh that cost my predation points
Yeah.
are offensive abilities.
I missed it first time around.
Um, and when
We don't need to discuss it now. We can pick it up.
I hand him the tuft of fur
Hmm.
and stuff, and then I go to Ilferin and give him the little bag of of evidence or whatever it could be
Okay.
called, and ask him to identify it.
Okay.
Uh,
Of course, mistress. I will, of course, need to make some preparations.
that is
Now may not be the right time.
that is fine. It's just I found this over in those stacks, and there was a handprint in the fire. It was purposely put there. I don't know what for, but this I don't know if this stuff could be. I don't know what this stuff is, and I kind of want to know. It could be useful. Just report back to me whenever you find out what it is. Um, no trees. No real. With that, she's going to leave him to whatever he's been doing. Ow. Ow. Oh, no, never mind. I was wrong, Ego. It takes one predation point when I change it. So,
No, that's fine.
how many have I
don't-
used? 3? So I
Yeah.
have 6 more.
Fine. No, it was more. Yeah, I just felt in comparison to other things, it would be slightly unbalanced. That's fine. Okay.
Give me 1 second.
Um, Matthias talks to Anna, and the caravan is making a beeline in the same direction that some of you saw Sakel going in.
In an
Okay, I'm back.
attempt to have Senpai notice me, I'm going to go find Haya again.
Okay.
And
Okay, Hai is a patient lady, but
it's not so much that he likes you, it's just that, oh hey, you basically like somebody I kind of want to like me. Anyways. Yeah, she's on the wagon again, right? Oh. Not. Um. I just go around yelling ollie ollie opposite tree.
Okay, you're continuing to do your morale boosting.
No, I was actually looking for Haya. I was just
Fine.
yeah. Um.
Haya's
So.
hanging out with Matthias and Anna.
Uh,
Anna.
Caravan is being redirected, and he's basically heading for a fairly specific part of the crossing. By the looks of it.
hmm. Um. So I think you mentioned a few days ago about a vision of yours, and I
Speaking to Haya.
yeah,
Okay.
and I told you about that thing yesterday, but I asked again about what might be within serendipity, and the reply I got was the dust of crushed dreams.
Haya
That
furrows
sounds
her brow.
that sounds ominous as fuck.
The spirits often speak in very ominous as fuck ways, but
I don't much like the sound of that.
I don't quite know what it means.
I shall have to meditate on this.
Yes, I was hoping that you might look into it a bit more, as mine is it has its pluses and its minuses, and I think yours gives you a bit more detail than what I'm able to see.
Yes, when the moon rises, I shall pray for my lady's guidance. Is that all?
Um, I see that little thing that you've been doing with the elf stuff, and I've been working on. I kind of like move my neck oddly off to the side, and my face like whoops a little bit more to like even more elven.
Haya just kind of blinks.
That's
She
awkward.
looks slightly grossed out.
Yeah.
She kind of like smacks her lips like,
Like, okay, that's a thing.
And then it shifts to human. And then like an oak with a pony hat.
you can stop now.
Then back to human.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay. What are people doing during the crossing?
Making sure the ponies are okay. And getting across fine.
Yeah. Haya's watching the water and how fast it's going.
Um, it's coming up pretty quick, you'd say.
Hmm.
This might not be good for us, honestly.
Yeah.
This is getting very bad, very, very fast.
Might have some further problems crossing.
Just what we needed, more problems.
Exactly how I feel.
So with
Caravan has reached that kind of the jetty and the buildings. The jetty is, you can't see it anymore. The buildings look like they are partially flooded.
Hmm.
Can no one control water? No one? No one at all? No? I
Some
stare
dolphins.
at the priest.
Haya says that her lady has dominion over water, but it's not what she chose to focus. Not what she chose to
Morwen
give her.
metaphorically flips the table and then walks away. It's Venom, so not Morwen. Not Morwen.
I could suggest to the water that it goes easier.
But it needs
I'll
ears
suggest
to be
everyone speed up.
affected by it.
I never said it would work. I just said I could suggest it.
Ah. Okay. So since we're all kind of just sitting here twiddling our thumbs,
Haya will position herself where she thinks things might go wrong because she may have the ability to tug the strands of fate and keep people from dying. So
is
she readies
does
channel
Anna
it.
look like she's getting her device ready for bridge building, or were they not expecting this?
You get the impression they weren't expecting this. They're having their kind of deeping conversation.
Um. Are there any rocks around?
She's
Like-
certainly she's certainly not getting out her device. She's kind of had it kind of heavily wrapped up in a long piece of leather for a while now since it started raining.
Okay, so it can't function right. Fantastic. Venom's gonna turn into a bird again and fly up and see if there's any place where it might be easiest to cross now, despite the... Oh my god, there's not gonna be a place to cross. We're gonna have to wait this out.
I mean, like before, I did levitate people, push them across. That's something that we did.
Yeah, but I mean, now that the river's flooded, it means that it's also wider, which means it'll take a lot longer. And the river's rising every so often.
Well, it's much worse to the west. By the looks of it. Although where you are is a choke point, so it will naturally swell here anyway. You could look to go south and then cross the river to your east, and then basically kind of cross the river that goes from east to west. It makes up the T, but that would involve you then crossing two rivers rather than round here, where there would be the opportunity to kind of effectively cross both. But because it's at that choke point, that's why it's swelling so much.
It could take days for the water to go down.
Depends how long it keeps raining. So, I mean, one of the big issues is just simply the size of the caravan. Yeah, it'll take most of a day just to cross. And then the issue is if the water rises too much during that time.
Matthias is going to... Or I'm going to tell Matthias I'm going to go to the other side. We're going to have Donovan here levitate people and send them over with Mage Hand. I'll catch them with Mage Hand and put them down. So the way it works is he's going to levitate them and just fling them to me, and I'll catch them with Mage Hand, stopping them in place and putting them down. And we're just going to do that the whole time. It'll be sloppy. It'll be messy. but it won't cause any real harm. It's just not the most effective way to do this. Fantastic. I fly over after telling him this plan.
And I want to talk about this before we do anything.
Then talk away.
This spirit talker, how often can he do this effect?
He according to him, from what he's told me, actually I don't think he's told me. So Donovan, how often can you levitate people?
I'm currently like 20 feet up in the air with like all of my things like levitating around me while I'm singing.
There you go. He can just do it.
A lot! You could say it's at will!
There you go.
How much can you carry? Could you carry a pony?
Yes, I can carry any animal or anything up to 600 pounds. Ish, because I don't know my actual stats. It's been like 2 weeks. How do you all play?
So we wouldn't be able to take the carts then.
We possibly could. I'm gonna just like float down. The larger things, I think that if I worked with somebody else, or if we managed to break them down or something, we could just send over the pieces, or if somebody else helped me, I might be able to.
And how would you manipulate
Target you or one willing creature or object, total weight 100 pounds a level. Okay. How heavy are the carts?
More than that.
A cart in
Mhm.
Pathfinder is
Let's check.
can only carry up to 300 pounds, so it's only about 400 pounds.
Okay. Like unloaded.
So we would have to detach the cart from the horse, move the pony, and the cart separately, and then put them down and then reattach them.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it'll be a very, very long process.
I can
but
actually
it will
just like
get it
use
done.
levitate on both and like push the pony, and the pony's like sturdy enough to pull along the cart, because it won't like pull on it too much and hurt it. So
I think we should detach them and do it separately.
okay. We have
Because
enough people to do
if
that.
if the cart does anything weird, it could spook the pony, at which point it becomes unwilling.
Yeah.
So we need to keep them calm.
Oh.
So
Which
So
I'm
you're
sure
gonna need to-
levitating into the air wouldn't in any way.
Yeah. So what we need to do
I can talk to
is,
them. Be like,
um,
hey, and they like me, so.
he's not lying.
Okay, no.
Hey, we just found a good reason for him to have been talking to those animals at that time. It's beautiful, Klaus. You've done it. Morwen also has a single point in handle animal, so she can use her handle animal skill to keep them somewhat calm as they come towards her. It won't be pretty.
I have a plus 15 to handle an animal, so.
I have a plus 22.
Oh, okay.
You're just like, oh, rip. So we can. Is anyone else here capable of keeping animals calm while we get this going? No one? Don't raise your hands
Cal
all
could
at
try.
once.
Cal could try.
I think we're better off with just us doing it.
Oh god, this is gonna be horrible. Morwyn. Okay, so Morwyn, or Vanum's gonna ask Matthias if we can do a test run with one of the ponies. It can be an empty cart, and if it freaks out, we'll do our best to save the pony if we have to. It's just with a pony. That's all we need. A test run with the pony. If it fails, we won't bring this topic up again.
Very
Oh.
well.
I'm guessing that ponies are very susceptible to, mind effects.
They're simple creatures, so yes, they are.
I'm going to just, like, as they just continue on talking, go about, gets close to some ponies and use So Thought to put thoughts in their head that's just like, huh, it would be fun to... Nat 20 on save on a pony. It would be interesting to fly, like that person over there.
They wouldn't have that thought. More, it would be they would be enticed by what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of simplifies to rudimentary ideas based on what the text says of this. So it's more of a fly good.
Fly good. Q Nat 20 will save on ponies. Rip all ponies. They all freak out. They all die in the fucking fire. And it was at that moment we goofed.
Mind affecting spells, though. Oh, awesome.
So if he's gonna allow us to do this,
I'm very well. Pick one of the animals, maybe one that's lame, and I will observe. We all will.
Morwyn's going to inspect the animals, go about them, pick the one that looks like it's contributing the least.
So Kel
And,
helpfully informs the others that the river is probably about 100 feet across at this point.
That's fine.
And then he tells Matthias about what he recovered from his scouting report about the possibly some kind of riders.
Riders?
Yes, he says that in the hovels, which are now collapsing across the river, he found evidence of a campsite that contained both medium-sized humanoids and some sort of clawed quadrupeds with some fur.
Wolf is one thing.
Sakel says, could be any manner of creature that rides those beasts.
Or what if they're werewolves?
Yep. He says, commonly the things that ride these things could have humans, possibly elves and direwolves, though that doesn't strike him as very likely. There's also goblinoids tend to prefer wargs, so perhaps he doesn't think it was like proper goblins because the humanoid prints are too small, but maybe some other type of goblinoid or orc, like a hobgoblin or orc.
What did that prince in the fire look like to me? Just human?
Um, could be humans, quite large, so like a large human maybe, or similar kind of humanoid race.
Hmm. Were there any nail marks at the tip? Like
Um,
indications of
if
larger,
there
longer
were, you
nails?
did not notice. Well, that's a good question.
Hmm.
So with her check, does she find a?
She
Yeah.
does. No, she does
I
find.
I start unhooking it from the cart, bring it over, and I keep it as calm as I can as I ask Donovan to levitate it.
Right.
Do you want me to send
You
you
do
across
so.
though so you can catch it?
I'm actually yeah, that's a good idea.
Right.
But I'm gonna keep it as calm as I can so he can levitate it, and then he's gonna levitate me, and then send me over, and then he'll send it over, and then
So hang on. So he's levitating you
he's
over.
levitating me. I'm willing, so it's just
Okay,
I
whoa,
start
whoa, so,
floating.
whoa. Just stop there. Okay. Right. Okay.
I mean, this was something that I did like at the last crossing. So
Yes and no.
Stakes are
So,
a bit not quite as high, I guess.
so you get slightly less than halfway across the river, and you're still levitating, and Donovan is gesturing, but Donovan, your gesturing is not having any effect.
no, like, all right, so they
Must be a
wouldn't
range
stop.
problem.
They wouldn't
Once
stop.
you push someone and just let them keep going, it just stays active for the whole minute, and you just keep going and going and going.
Until
You
levitate
can
stops,
you
she
can
just
levitate anything within the range, but once it's out of your range and it's still levitating and or being accelerated, it just keeps going until the duration ends. And his duration, I'm levitating for 6 minutes. So I just float in the direction he pushes me for 6 minutes, or until I stop with myself with Mage Hand.
a
I
lot of
have
the
I mean,
spells that end whenever
Ego
something
just
leaves.
wait,
Go,
hold on.
go,
Ego
go.
just he did the thing that GMs do and described what happened when you did a thing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure you can argue that.
So here's the thing, okay? So I'm reading the descriptions. I understand the point you guys are making. I can understand how someone could adjudicate it in that way. But reading the descriptions of the spells, that's not what they say they do.
So okay, all spells that like end whenever something leaves the area, like I think Dancing Lights has something like that. That's the first one that comes to mind because I'm just looking at my list at the moment. But whenever it tries to leave the area, an affected target tries to leave it, then the thing dissipates, and it'll always say that in the description of the spells. So, like, I can use Suggestion on somebody, and they can leave the range of the spell.
And then the effect ends. It always
Oh.
specifically says it within the spell description. If the range has been left, the spell ends. It says it in every spell that has a specific range to it.
So
So
I
yeah,
can.
the spell ends if the distance between you and the object ever exceeds the spell's range.
Where does it say this?
Mage hand.
What do you, are no, he's
No,
just
okay.
pushing me. Once he's levitated me, he
No,
doesn't
but
continue.
that's my issue though. Yeah, it doesn't say push. It says lift. It says lift and move. Yeah,
Then I use Mage Hand and move myself.
that's fine. Okay, but that's different. Yeah?
Actually,
mean,
I
as
kind of
soon-
just want
Like,
to test this out.
The pony can't use Mage Hand and lift itself at the point you get
I can
halfway.
push it. I can physically push it, and its momentum wouldn't stop until it interacts with something or the spell ends.
That's true.
It's kind of the same with Mage Hand.
Okay,
It's just
so-
this is the non-magical Mage
No,
Hand,
you're
basically.
assuming- you're assuming
Ego. We get it. We can't get across. Yes. So
You can get
I-
across, pony can't.
I go back to Donovan and tell him to physically push me while I'm levitated. Just
Alright.
throw me across.
Do you want a strength? Oh, just ranged
I
attack?
levitate removes my weight, so you just kind of push me.
Yeah, that's the deal with it. Yeah, just push you.
I'm pushed across, I assume.
Momentum with weightless things is just keeps going. No such thing as air resistance in Pathfinder.
Because science.
Not about science, guys. It's about the spell.
We thought you were talking about levitate, and because you weren't, we were confused, and that's our bad. I am sorry. But now, because we know you're talking about mage hands, if we just physically push the object, it'll just keep going.
Also,
And then I can
still,
catch it with mage hands.
even with Mage Hand, the thing about that is it's still pushing something. It doesn't have to continue to push something to make it
So
do
that
this.
so that I'm trying to keep this as short and sweet as I can. We can talk about how Mage Hand does or does not work another time. At the moment, I'm focusing on levitate.
You had us go to Mage Hand. Okay.
Sakel pulls out some cards,
Yeah.
and he asks if Haya wants to play some gin rummy.
Since this doesn't work, I'm a fly back over, and if she sees this, or if Banham sees this, he'll ask if he can join in. There's no point in doing anything if we can't do anything, so we might as well wait out the rain. Sorry, Matthias, but we've got nothing. Mages are useless right now.
Mage is always useless. It's fun.
It's-
I
Sakel
also
says,
play.
"Have you tried like one of you's over here? He does the levitate thing, then he pushes him 50, and then the person, oh no, wait, that's right, slightly less than 50. Okay."
Actually, it's actually exactly 50. It would be exactly 50 feet.
Mage Hand range for me is 40 feet.
Oh, rip you.
Yep.
GG.
Wait, why is it 40 feet?
It's 25 feet base plus 5 feet every 2 levels. He's probably got 6 HD, so
As a move action, you can propel the object as far as 15 feet in any direction. So once it gets to the 40 feet thing, you just push them across that little edge, and then I catch them.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the spell will end once the distance between them and the object ever exceeds the spell's range. So because they're still under the effect of Mage Hand, and because you've propelled them, you're no longer in control of that propulsion. So they just go. And then they reach my Mage Hand range, I catch them and pull them across.
Okay.
So it'll be like 10 feet of distance at which they are in no one's control?
20, actually, I think. Or thereabouts. Because it's 100 feet across and you have 40-foot ranges for both of you. Maybe 35 for Morwen. I don't know.
It stopped raining.
Okay, then I fly over because this is about to get really bad really fast. I go to the which way is the wind? I fly up, I turn into a bird and I fly up and I determine which way the wind is blowing.
It's blowing away from you towards the east.
Towards the east?
Yeah.
Oh God. If they're to the east, we are downwind, and that is a bad thing. Or they are downwind from us, which means they'll catch our sun. If they this could get bad really fast. I go down and I tell everyone which way the wind is blowing, and that we need to get meat placed in a bunch of places as bait, a little bit downwind from us, like by a little. I mean, like a mile, maybe, or not a mile. I don't know.
With the rain stopping now, the river should start to gradually die down. Do you think your trick would work if the river was less wide?
I think our trick would have worked either way. We just didn't have enough time to do things. So, I mean, one way or another, our problem now is the wolves that are about to be coming for us. We're probably downwind, or they're probably downwind from us, so I can see us being in a pickle here soon.
I refreshed the wet grass scent on me and Morwen.
Is it possible a group of us could make our way to the other side of the river first and establish some sort of defensive position?
We'll have to wait like 20 minutes at most for the water to go down a little bit.
Well, there is always this. Like, if you want to be really slow about it, I can always just move myself along with whatever I'm moving. Because momentum isn't a thing.
Let's wait for the river to go down a bit more. See if you can try your thing again. And then make a decision. But if Sir Cal said that these wolves might be ridden, is that right?
Which means we could be attacked or ambushed.
That's a slightly different level of threat.
Just making sure, you said there weren't any trees in the area.
That's correct.
Is there anything that would obscure anything from a sky view?
Yes. So you guys are going through some reasonably hilly country. So the land undulates. There are probably shallow. There'll be certainly kind of ravines. Depressions, maybe even a shallow cave or two.
Well, I might do a full scout thing in a bit, but right now I want to fly up about 300 feet and look around to see if I can see anything around us.
Um, Morwen is going to shift into a bird, telling Matthias that she'll be back in
That's really hard to do as a bird.
like an hour.
Sakel cautions. Sakel cautions, and it's blowing away in a strong breeze.
Yeah.
Wait, there's a strong breeze. Like it's strong enough to blow a bird away.
He was making a joke.
Oh. She'll tell Matthias that she'll be back in roughly an hour.
Fine. The river will take time to go down by then. I'm just keen to get underway.
Okay.
Sakel says he's gonna
I
go
will be
do
back.
some meat stuff.
Yeah, same. She's going to fly away to across the river and east. So, and it's going to be about 20 minutes of travel, roughly 20, 25 minutes of travel, give or take.
Yeah.
And she's going to place meat in various places, I don't know, 100 feet apart each. There's only 4 of them, so they're like a pound each. And then she's going to cast, she's going to shift back to Morwen and cast the cantrip Signal. Or no, she won't. She'll. No, she won't. Maybe.
Okay.
Are there any? Does it look like there's any caves around, like you said? Or like
you'd have to have kind of a proper look, but certainly the last few days, as you've kind of left the Nile marches and started traveling more to the east, you've noticed that the land is very much taken on much more of a kind of hilly complexion. You have spotted the odd cave, quite a few ravines.
Can I reform my question?
Of course you can.
On a quick look from up above, I don't know, 50, 100, about 100 feet roughly, does it look like there's anything that can amplify a sound? A little, like, theater kind of formation in a rock,
Probably.
a small cave,
Yeah,
anything. If I
Yeah.
can see one, I'm gonna go 40 feet away from it on the other side of it and cast Signal into it to amplify the sound. I create a loud noise that can be easily heard by anyone within 1,000 feet. And if this amplification works, as I hope, it'll be much louder.
Okay.
And I'm just thinking loud bang. That's its simple description.
Do you want me to roll that perception check, by the way? Because Soto's doing that.
Yes, please.
Okay.
And once I do that, I'm gonna fly back to Matthias.
Okay.
I'm guessing I don't see anything.
Let me have a look.
What is seeing? That's not what was
You can
doing.
see a really big fuck off river. A lot of hills. That's what you can see. It's not raining anymore, but it is actually a bit chilly up here, and after a few minutes, you're kind of wondering as to what you're doing up here.
Um,
How far up did you go? Sorry.
I went up 300 feet.
Okay. Um. You might. No, not with that roll. Fine. Good.
Alright, kinda just like nodded, just like, wasted my time. And dismiss the levitate and use featherfall on myself.
From 300 feet up, yeah?
Yeah, featherfall's an immediate action.
Might want to mention that you can do it at will.
Yeah, I messaged that to him over Skype. It's one of the wonderful drow feats I've spent.
Fine. Thank you. Right. So I was about to get you to do a concentration check there. Things could get interesting. Right. Okie dokie.
Yeah, like that's what the spell is made for.
Yeah. Well, so by the time you guys have done your various tasks, the river's certainly starting to retreat, but it is slower going than you would want. Sir Cal would probably know that the ground would be saturated and therefore there's not the water on the hills will be rushing down now into the river. So even though the river's carrying it down, it's getting refilled up again as the surface water from the hills is coming down onto it. Matthias is got his pipe out and he's smoking now that it's no longer raining, and starts setting up his tent. Mistress, I wondered if, as it seems that we are going to enjoy this view a little bit longer than we planned, whether you would like me to check this cloth this evening.
Yeah, that would be nice. I have a feeling that whatever was taking camp there might this might give us a clue as to what it was. So considering that we have to go over there and they probably are hostile, knowing what we might have to fight is usually the first step.
Of course, mistress. I will check now.
Thank you, Elfrin. I go to Matthias and tell him that I have Elfrin investigating something that I had found on the other side before the flooding. That it's just a possibility, an assumption that she's making that may or may not. It may or may not give us a clue as to what we may encounter over there.
It's good. I think after all this rain, I will see if I've got anything left to drink, although I must confess I'm running a bit low. I'm hoping there's going to be a brewer or something at this new settlement.
Hopefully.
To restock.
A good drink will do good.
That's what the omen was about. They don't have a brewery. Our dreams are crushed.
Indeed. Yeah. Anything you want to do this evening?
Eat and sit by the fire because I'm assuming that those rotted houses didn't really have the best of ceilings, so her fur's probably a little matted. Um,
Yes.
she's going to have her big cloak on and stay and turn into Morwen, kind of in the shadows-ish, and sit next to the fire so her fur can dry out because it's incredibly uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And just nom on her food.
Very well. Haya and Sakal.
Sakel's gonna pass out because he's done a lot of running the past couple of days.
Yeah.
And Haya is going to meditate and wait for the moon to rise because she wants to see if she can augury something.
Ooh.
Okay. And our resident singer and all-round entertainer.
I'm going to divination, and because I can ask a question, I'm going to ask why it's I have to double check. Why is it full of crushed dreams? Why is serendipity full of crushed dreams?
Okay.
Divination spells. Yeah.
Okay.
Putting stress on the GM.
It's fine. It's always nice when players paying attention to the plot. What is Haya wanting to ask and when?
So I believe what she will ask is, after spending about an hour just focusing on her breath and concentrating, she'll reach out using her magic and see if her goddess wishes to share some of her boundless knowledge. She'll ask if the settlers of this place that people call Serendipity, if they still live.
Now that's a good question. I'm doing it. I expended one inspiration. So how many do I have left?
All right. She'll ask,
Ow. Okay. 3 plus level plus int, which is 3, 7 plus 4, 11. So I have 10 inspiration left, and that is 21 for you.
Mm-hmm.
That craft alchemy check looks so pitiful to me.
He's wow, I rolled a
Yeah.
I just
I got a
realized
twen-
I just realized augury sucks balls.
Why do you say that?
Because it's really hard to word a question that it will answer in a useful manner. 'Cause usually when you ask the question, you can just say wheel and woe. And you're like, well, that gets me not very far.
Um,
You'd think the
you
god you're
could always
worshiping would
would
care a little bit
something.
more about you.
You could always would something more like, if I attempted to send a letter to a living resident of this town, what would the results
Would
for that be?
No, it would be if I attempted to send a letter to a resident of this town, would they respond or would it fall upon dead ears?
That's not really how the spell works either.
That's unfortunate.
Forget the spell. I was just gonna think on what Donovan told her. And the fact that they're gonna be sitting around here for a long time gives her a moment to just rest without the constant clunk 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 of rocks and shit beneath the wheels of her
Also,
wagon.
without the threat of elves wanting to kill us. And Rain. Rain is pretty ass, too.
So never preparing augury again.
You got the shittiest response ever, didn't you?
No, it's not very useful.
It is.
As a
It's
spell
just
effect.
It's extremely vague. I got the next thing up, which if I
Not
would
very
have
useful.
had, yeah.
So Haya just sort of rests there. And if something comes, it comes. If not, oh well.
If we all die, we all die. At least we'll die in style.
I guess I'm the resident fortune teller now. Which I can only do once per day. Darn.
If anyone starts singing or dancing or anything, Morwen will probably join in with singing.
Charging into Matthias's tent. I
We're
ask him if he
already there,
knows.
aren't we?
No, I would be doing this in private.
Oh, okay.
Charging into his tent, I ask him if he knows the name of, any of the people there at Serendipity.
Oh my. Okay. So once he figures this out, he's gonna go tell Morwen and tell her that her gloves thankfully saved her, and he's going to. She's once he tells this to her, she's going to tell him to tell Matthias. So this can go down between however you want. Poison. Okay, this is bad.
So, does he have a response to what I said, or? Stuff's about to get real.